For some of you, the semester has already started, and for some of us, it'll start within just a few days. So the idea with this video is that we are going to see what we can do to really supercharge, to really enhance our course this semester by integrating some generative AI in many different ways. I've talked about a lot of this within previous videos, but the idea with this one is that I'll put it all together so that you can see how the idea of applying generative AI in different ways and different mechanisms, and again, all up to you, whatever you think will suit you best, will suit your course best. The big thing that I'm trying to do is raise awareness to enhance our AI literacy so that we can fully manipulate generative AI in the way that is the most beneficial for us and for our students. So again, I'm going to break this down. The very first thing when we're thinking about AI and how to really turbocharge our semester is we need to make sure that the students understand that you know about AI so that there's no confusion as far as what they can use AI for or what they can't. So that's the first part is we're going to lower the issues that you have with AI by ensuring that there's clear communication. So the very first thing that I recommend is to have an AI statement within your syllabus. So this is a statement of use, a statement of how AI will be used within your course. And again, it doesn't have to be super detailed, just a simple statement saying that, hey, we are going to be using AI for some assignments, or we're not going to be using AI for different assessments, but we are going to discuss AI, we are going to talk about it, and maybe we'll use it together in a class or something like that. But the thing is to make some sort of statement to start this communication, this dialogue, to help students know, okay, yeah, AI is a thing, I'm aware of it, and this is how it's going to be addressed. So that's the very first thing. Now, the next thing is to make sure that everyone is on the same playing field of understanding of what do I mean when I talk about AI? Do my students have any type of AI literacy? Are they understanding the different aspects of it? So I strongly recommend that you have a small little short period. I do this every single semester. I have for the last, 2 years now, where I take about 20 minutes and I give them a small little presentation talking about AI literacy. So this is fundamental knowledge that everyone should have about AI literacy, how it's broken down into its 4 segments, what each segment is about, just so that students have a greater view of what it means to have AI literacy. And again, this is something that needs to be developed within the students, within ourselves. And even if they've had this information before, it's still very beneficial for them to receive this information again and again so that they can fully develop and retain this vital skill dealing with AI literacy, especially aspects such as critical thinking and capability. So those are all really powerful things that we have to continue to develop within our students. So that's the second one there, really trying to help them understand, hey, this is what AI literacy is. Here's some foundational knowledge, and now we can use it that much more within the class. The next way to turbocharge your course with AI is to really think about your course alignment and how AI can help you with that. So with course alignment, we're talking about different components, right? Everything has to be in alignment, meaning that you have your SLOs, your student learning outcomes, that's understood. And then along with that, you have assessment, what's going to be the evidence that your students have learned that, and then that will inform your pedagogical techniques, what you're going to be doing. AI can help you with each part of that because AI, again, is this assistive instructional designer. That's the way you should view it, is as an aid, a co-pilot, someone that can assist you with the whole process of teaching and learning. So within course alignment, I know that most of us fall in on a course where it's a course that we receive the information on, so we already know the SLOs. But if we're developing something new, we can use the AI to help us with the creation of SLOs, with student learning outcomes. We can help it with the creation of understanding what would be some good assessments for this SLO. It might be things that we've already been doing. So we've already been doing quizzes or doing tests, but now we could also pose the question back to the AI. We could say, hey, I'm trying to enhance my course. What are some other new hands-on learning type of assessments that I could do with my students so that they can better gain an understanding of this SLO? Again, we can use the AI at every different level. We can say, oh, so for my pedagogical technique, in order to do this assessment, what are some other things I can do in class? What are some good activities that I can do? You can pose all of this to the AI. So that's another powerful way to really turbocharge your course, as well as throughout the entire semester. If you run into situations, again, go back to the AI, use it again as an instructional designer, say, hey, I'm having issues dealing with this. Can you help me with this? Again, we want to use that advanced prompt formula that I've talked about in other classes. And even this dealing with course alignment, I've had a specific video where I talk about that as well. I'll link to that in the description as well as in the comments. So that's a third great way to really supercharge your course through the use of AI. Before we get too much further, I want to make sure that everyone understands that use of AI, implementation of AI within the course, using it for assignments, using it for activities, that's all up to you. You shouldn't ever feel forced to do anything with the AI. The idea with the AI is that this will enhance your course. This will enhance students' capabilities. This will do all sorts of things for motivation and excitement in general. This is a trending topic, of course, but we should never use technology simply to use technology. It should serve a purpose. So we have to think about it. You are the subject matter expert for your course, whether you're teaching biology, chemistry, professional communication like my course, or anything. You need to think about, okay, can the course be enhanced by using AI? Where would be an appropriate place where I could use the AI as a tool? Maybe I could integrate it as part of their process, as a take-home activity, all sorts of different things. So with this infographic here, I show how it's a continuum, right? Everything from simply using AI to have discussions in class where we talk about AI, all the way to full integration where I have them do some sort of assignment or assessment all on their own using the AI. So everything in between as well. It's up to you as that student, that subject matter expert to really think about it, to purposely decide, right? And it's really important for us to think about, okay, what are the student learning outcomes? And is it okay for them to use the AI? Will this help them to achieve that? Also, what are the skills that they need to know when they graduate within my field? Since they are a biology major, what are the different skills dealing with AI that they need after graduation? Again, a lot of things for you to think about, but again, it's important to integrate all that in order to really supercharge your course, because now it's going to be that much more relevant, that much more effective as well. I wanted to be sure to share this part with you, DISC, and again, another video that completely talks about this. This is 4 easy ways to increase AI literacy within a course. The idea here is that by using this acronym, you can break things down and easily have AI literacy be a component of your course, whether it's simply through discussion, integrating by having them go through simulations or different types of assignments, or even asking, even like right after you present something, posing that question to AI to see what it says, and then having a discussion about that, asking questions about that, going through and showing students different things like creating some sort of advanced prompt dealing with your field, and then posing that to the AI or sending that to your students as a take-home assignment, all sorts of different things. Then finally, questions. Simply asking questions. What are the thoughts of the students? What do they think about this? Is this an ethical thing? Is it not? What are some issues with over-reliance? All sorts of possibilities that you can pose to the student to help gauge their understanding of AI and to also help them to develop this awareness, which is an important part of AI literacy in itself. Now, along with DISC, there's also another technique. Here's another acronym. It's called CI. Now, CI is a great acronym. It was invented way before generative AI, but it's a really powerful thing because it really helps us to give good instruction in general, even without AI, right? It's really powerful because it helps us to convey information, to talk about our topic in a way that will really help students to understand. So it's broken down into 4 different sections here, S, E, E, I. With S, you simply state what it is, what the topic is. With E, you elaborate. With another E, you exemplify. And then with I, you illustrate. The power here is that AI can really supercharge your presentation because AI can be used in each part of this acronym for stating. You could use AI to help create some nice presentation as far as what it is that you're going to state to begin with to help them understand. So this initial statement, this initial discussion that you might have, you could have that with the AI. You could have the AI create something for you, is either as a simple text or as a simulation that you go through in order to prepare so that you can be that much more eloquent when you're instructing to your students. So again, AI can really help you there. The elaborate, when you go through and expand it, you can have the AI really help you as well in order to create really logical information that you're going to be presenting to the students. And again, when we're talking about logical, we also want to talk about progressively logical and progressively more difficult. So you could pose content to the AI and say, hey, does this seem like a logical progression of how we're going to cover this topic? Again, that will help you that much more when you actually present it to the students. And then exemplify. AI is really powerful there because it can create many different types of examples across a broad spectrum. So if you are an instructor and hey, you have half of the football team that's in your class, or you have a volleyball team that's in your class, you could use the AI to create examples that would be specific for their sport, specific for the things that they're into. Maybe you have students that are really into art. Well, you could have the AI create examples of what you're talking about, but within the art field. That's really powerful. Again, this really helps with personalization of information as well, personalization of the content, because you could help any student that's struggling by having the AI create specific examples that will help them to understand that. And then the illustrate, the final part of this acronym, is really powerful as well because AI can be used to create all sorts of images, all sorts of visuals, audio, and even video now. So AI can really help in creating lots of different types of media that can help the student understand. Again, just different ways to really super turbocharge your course to make it that much more impactful. I also really want to be sure that we are knowing the share technique, right? So this is an acronym that I created a while back to really help with the redesign or to the designing something new dealing with assignments and assessments in the age of AI. Because AI is a reality now, we have to make sure that we're thinking about it when we are creating assignments, when we're creating assessments, and when we're teaching our students. So here, this is a really powerful and important acronym to help us with that. And again, there's a video dedicated to this, but this is broken down into 5 different components here with share, the S, strong and more authentic. We want to make sure that our assignments and our assessments are strong, meaning that they are that they really push the student, right? Because we're going to be holding them accountable. So we want to make it more rigorous, more realism, and that ties in with more authentic as well. Instead of just assigning an essay, we could incorporate things like a business report. We could put a specific business or a specific situation so that to add to the realism. We could add different components to it. We could make it more grounded as well to add to the realism by doing things like not just saying, hey, you have to do an essay about this topic, but you have to do a business report about the guest speaker that just came and gave a presentation on this that we've been learning about in class, but I want you to write a business report to see if another business would want to have this individual give a presentation. Some other way to make it more grounded so that now the student has to think about what did they experience and how does that apply to the actual course topic. Again, lots of different ways to make it more rigorous and also more grounded within the course. You could create specific case studies that the AI hasn't been trained on, and now this case study is presented in course, so now they have to do an assignment based off of the case study, which is much more difficult to do since they can't just use the AI to solve everything for them. So that's a real powerful part there, making it more strong and much more authentic as well. With the H, the high price for false information, this is one that I've been pushing really hard to get people to understand, is that students should now really review any type of information that they get from the AI. They need to do it because it's always important for a human to be in the loop when we're dealing with AI, but also we have to understand that there could be some false information, there could be some outdated information. So the idea with high price of false information is that the students are aware that, hey, within that reference section or even within the document itself, if there's any content that's made up, that's hallucinated, that is just totally incorrect as far as it looks, it might be confidently wrong, but it's still wrong, there's going to be a higher price. Where in the past we might have only taken off 1 point, they need to understand, hey, there'll be multiple points taken off now because this is an indicator that you didn't review what the AI gave you, and maybe you used the AI when you weren't supposed to. Again, different ways of implementation depending on how you're using the AI for that assignment, for that course. But that's a real powerful way there, high price for false information. Additional and or other assessment techniques. The idea here is everything doesn't have to be essays. I know I've used essays a lot in the past, but now I've incorporated many more techniques, such as some in-class writing. Again, not to go overboard so that all writing is in class, but some writing could be done in class just to gauge the student that much more, to understand their capabilities, in-class quizzes. What I also like to do is to assign a report that they might have to write. They do that outside of class. I even have them use AI to assist them with that. But then they also have to give a presentation. So it's sort of a combined assessment here because they're giving the presentation. Now I can also evaluate their skills, their technique for presentation, as well as hold them accountable for the information that they were supposed to learn in the creation of that report. So that's a powerful way as well. Reflection, critical analysis, feedback. The idea here is that you could give them feedback on what they did for one assignment, and then they have to write about your feedback. They have to reflect upon it. This could be done in class, this could be done out of class, all different ways, but the more that we can incorporate reflection, the better it'll be for that student to understand the course topic and to gain better mastery of learning itself. And then finally, expanded assignment. The idea here is that there could be multiple parts to the assignment. One clear example would be the 7-step writing process, where the student, goes through and they select a topic, they go through, they do brainstorming and deciding that, and they write an outline, then they write a rough draft, and they get feedback, all this stuff. So all of this could be turned in. Different parts of this could be done with AI or without AI. Some parts could be done out of class or in class. You can choose, you can decide, but you can do similar things with other types of assignments, other types of assessments. Project-based learning, you could have where they turn in certain things. They could keep a journal about what they're doing. You could do individual meetings periodically while they're going through and creating the project, all sorts of different things. But if we expand it, then we can see their progress and we can keep them accountable because they have to be able to express how they're learning, express what they're doing, as opposed to simply having the AI do everything for them. So that's a very powerful thing. The share technique has been used. I've had lots of colleagues from around the world use it. So it has been very powerful and very useful. So I strongly encourage you to implement it as well. So then the final thing that I want you to think about, and this might seem a little weird because we're talking about it at the beginning of the semester as opposed to the end of the semester, but you'll see that it's actually very important for us to think about this now at the beginning of the semester, and that's to use AI to help you with end of course critiques. So the way that you do that is that right now at the beginning of the course, you go through and make sure that you understand what questions are going to be asked of the student at the end of the course. So when they critique you, what are the specific questions they're being asked? Now that you have those questions, now you can make sure that you're addressing that throughout your course. And if you have any issues with those, if you have any problems with any of that, well, now you can turn to the AI again as your assistant, as your helpful instructional designer, and you can ask the AI, hey, I think I might be having issues with this, or hey, I want to make sure that I'm addressing this because it talks about the instructor clearly gives all instructions and uses hands-on learning. How can I make sure that I'm doing that within my course? Well, by asking the AI and getting some specific action items, well, you can incorporate that now at the beginning of the course as opposed to waiting to the end of the course when they're already going to be critiquing you. So that's why it's important to look at end of course critiques right now so that you know those questions. You can use AI to ensure that you're maximizing your capabilities with each one of the questions that are going to be asked. So that's a real important thing as well. Okay, so those are some really powerful ways that we can use generative AI to really supercharge our course so that we can have the most successful educational experience for ourselves as well as for our students. So all of these different things, I have different videos about them. Please check them out. I'll link them in the description as well as in the comments section. And please, I'm looking forward to your thoughts. I want your comments. I want your ideas. I want some additional things. What do you think? Do you have some other ideas as far as how we can use AI to really enhance and and supercharge our course for this semester. So looking forward to our community, to our comments, and please like and share so that, again, we can continue to develop our community as well. And remember, learning is for life.